Bob Cesca. This is very strange.
Yeah, it is very strange. You know, the strange thing is we never do this, Jody. We talk every Thursday of every week of every year. And we never do this over video face-to-face.
No, I'm usually naked, and so are you. So that's what's weird.
As is the practice on the Thursday show. No pants.
Right. Yeah. It's no pants Thursdays.
Yeah.
Always.
That's exactly right.
Well, Jackie Scheckter used to have no pants-free Fridays on the show.
Yes, she did.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, yeah. So that's why we don't use video on the other show, because it would
there's
be
enough
too
violence on
distracting.
television as there is, you know.
All these pantless people and David,
David
running around without pants.
And his little arms.
His little tiny
T-Rex arms.
Yeah. Everybody running around like Donald Duck.
Exactly. Exactly. God. And that's the thing with Mouse. I mean, like, they're worried about mice being naked, but not Donald Duck being pantsless.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Right.
Oh. Yeah. Right.
That whole scandal.
That
whole scandal. How does he get away with that?
I don't know. And Yogi Bear only has a tie. Does he wear a tie?
And cuffs.
And cuffs. He does wear cuffs.
Yes.
So, you know, he's jaunty. And a hat.
He has a pork pie hat. Yes.
Wait,
he has a hat.
Yogi Bear doesn't have cuffs.
He does.
He does. He wears cuffs.
What kind of Hanna-Barbera fan are you? I don't remember
cuffs?
Yogi Bear having cuffs.
I do.
I think there's another Hanna-Barbera character that has cuffs.
Snagglepuss?
I don't remember.
Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss wears cuffs.
Yeah, there you
Aren't
go.
we?
Well, Snagglepuss is a perv.
Yeah.
You're right. Yogi Bear does not have cuffs.
You're out of the club.
I Mandela'd myself with Yogi Bear.
You did.
Yes.
Whoa. What he unplugged himself.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
no.
Oh, no. So, so Bob.
I just yanked my headphones out.
There you go. So, Bob, everybody's giving President Biden, not everybody, idiots like Ted Cruz, are giving the president a lot of grief for upholding his pledge as he was running for president to nominate a black woman as a Supreme Court justice. I don't have other people are like they should be messaging it better. And you tweeted what Reagan said. I'm announcing today that one of the first Supreme Court vacancies in my administration will be filled by the most qualified woman I can possibly find, and meaning white woman, because when they just say woman, white is implied.
Yes, of course.
It's time for a woman, white woman, to sit among our highest jurists. And nobody seemed to have a problem with him saying that, nor did they have a problem with Amy Barrett. I don't use her middle name, becoming a justice as well, because that's what...
That'll show her.
That'll show her. She doesn't get 3 names. She doesn't get 3 names. She replaced a good 3-named lady.
Right.
She doesn't get
We've
the 3.
stricken the third name.
The middle name goes out. Amy Louise Barrett. But she, you know, he said he was going to nominate a woman as well, and nobody thought anything of it. And same with Clarence Thomas. That was a on purpose nomination. So I don't, and all the women that have been bandied about so far are more qualified than at least 3 people on the court now.
Yeah, of course. And that doesn't preclude the 114 times that only white men were considered for the job. Literally only white men for 114 Supreme Court nominations, confirmations, and we have a problem now. And I think part of this is because, Jody, Donald Trump and that entire movement has made it okay to just be outwardly racist, to just say, well, this is obviously something we can't do. My God, a black woman? Why would you just consider a black woman? What about all of these poor white men? Why can't we get our boots off the necks of the white men in this country?
I know.
Right.
I mean,
That's
Ted Cruz in
madness.
particular, I mean, he's like the worst when it comes to this. He said this.
Yeah.
Senator, you made a particularly provocative statement about if you're a white man, tough luck, and African-American women should be insulted by the president's statement he's going to nominate an African-American woman. Can you understand why some people find that objectionable?
No, because you got to understand, racial discrimination is wrong. Period, full stop. One of the most depressing things about Democrats today, they're very comfortable discriminating based on race.
What?
Oh, God. I mean, how do you discriminate against, 70% of the American population?
Yeah.
This is next level madness. It's like I just said, they're acting as though white men are just this oppressed class in this country. And I assure you, as a white man, we're definitely not.
Definitely.
There's no way that's actually happening.
And it's
this
not,
is a matter. it's also a matter of representation too, what
Right.
we're talking about, because there are black women in the United States. A newsflash to Ted Cruz, but
Yeah.
they actually exist, and maybe we should have representation for them among these 9 people that compose 1/3 of the federal government. 1/3 of this
Right.
has no representation for black women.
Right.
And up until recently, certainly no representation for white women either. Very little representation. So considering that white women compose 50% of the country, women in general,
yeah,
at least 50. Yeah. So this is just this is a bunch of Republicans now trying to wave the flag, make sure they can keep that racist vote. That's one of the things that Donald Trump taught us, that as long as there are votes, they don't care if the vote is in the form of a white hood or a swastika, or a noose.
Right.
They will take those votes. There are good people on both sides, right? That's the lesson we learned from Donald Trump, and that's become a thing. One of the things I've been talking about on my show, and certainly been writing about it for a long time now, is that when you open a door in politics like that, when you set a precedent, you're establishing a tradition then.
Right.
You're making it okay. Very seldom in politics does a door open to some talking point or some idea or some tradition, then it rarely ever closes again afterwards.
Right.
And so, the Republicans have started this thing where, we're not even using dog whistles anymore. We're not even doing the Lee Atwater strategy of
Right.
coded language. We're just letting it all out. And I swear to God, it's just a matter of time. I think within the year, we're going to hear Tucker Carlson say the N-word, or Donald Trump is going to say the N-word. They're right on the edge of it. And, but that's all part of this trend that's making it okay. I mean, the meme that goes around on social media all the time, let's make racism wrong again.
Right. I have a shirt that
know what
says
I mean?
that. I literally have a
Yeah.
shirt that reads that as
Oh, yeah,
well.
yeah. I mean, it was always there,
Right.
But now it's okay for all of these guys to go around and say these things publicly. And this is where the entire Supreme Court fracas right now all stems from that. It wouldn't normally be happening. Obviously, anyone with a brain in their head, anyone with even a scotch of reason would say, yeah, you know what? Maybe it's time for black women to have representation on the Supreme Court. Maybe that would be valuable for American democracy. But we can't have that because these poor whiny, oh my God, the whininess, the whining incessantly from white male Republicans. Talk about something else that Donald Trump normalized.
Yeah.
They just made that okay, where we don't even blink anymore. This entire population of grown men who go around comporting themselves as alphas just can't stop whining and crying about how unfair the world is to white men. Oh my God. Like I said at the beginning, Jody, I assure you.
Get their fainting couches out.
Right.
Yeah, the white men are not being oppressed.
No, not even close.
Not at all.
Not even close. No, it's not like he's going to appoint. Not that she wouldn't be a bad Supreme Court justice, Wanda Sykes. I think she would be fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
She would serve
Yeah.
people.
I would love her to be on the court, but she also is not a lawyer, nor is she a judge. And
That's not a requirement.
it's not a requirement. You are correct.
Right.
But it's helpful.
I say we go in with the double whammy now. I say we
Frangela,
not only-
obviously.
Yeah, Rocky Mountain Mike's idea, where we expand the court so we can appoint Frangela,
Right.
both Francis and Angela, to the Supreme Court. That would be great. I would actually listen to the oral arguments from the Supreme Court on a regular basis if that was the case.
Their
Oh.
dissents would be
Is
amazing.
it Frangela's turn yet?
I know.
Please
When do
let
they get to
Frangela
question?
talk.
When do they get to question? When is it question time? No, it's
Yes.
and like I said, the women that are supposedly on the short list, all at least 2 or 3 have already been confirmed by the Senate and
Yes.
the lower courts. And even Lindsey Graham is in support of Judge Childs because I think he knows her very well.
Well, I think there's one that's a South Carolina judge.
That's her. That's
yeah.
Childs.
Yeah.
That's Judge Childs.
So yeah,
And that's the one. She's the one who Clyburn supports.
Right.
Now,
Yes.
right?
Exactly. Exactly. And the president is discussing with Grassley and Dick Durbin, right? He's the judiciary chairs to, help me with this. And I believe he's having Doug Jones come in and take whoever it is the nominee around and have her meet all of the senators. my podcast partner David Shockett yesterday was talking about the messaging was bad. He should have just said, I will nominate the most qualified person, yada, yada, yada. And obviously it's going to be this, not say that, but obviously he was going to keep his campaign promise. I don't have a problem with him. Of course he's going to be asked, are you going to hold up your campaign promise? Because that's the obvious question. And for him to just say, oh, I'm just going to nominate the most qualified, to me would have been mealy-mouthed and not a strong answer, whereas David feels he should have just said, we will nominate the best qualified person for the job and then nominate Judge Childs or Judge Jackson or whomever he chooses.
He could make a part of his qualifications the fact there is no one of this persuasion on the court.
That's also a perfect qualification.
That's why you're perfectly qualified, because we need someone like you on the court.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's the other thing that I've been observing over the past 5-6 years is I think a significant segment of our population has lost track of right versus wrong. We don't know the difference between right and wrong anymore.
Right.
And I say we, you know who I'm talking about. And this is one of those cases where what we are doing with this Supreme Court nominee is to right a wrong. We're trying to correct something that we didn't do, that we haven't been doing for all of these hundreds of years in the United States. And that's an important thing to do, to correct a mistake of the past. And we're correcting that. I mean, it's not like, oh, suddenly now we should have a black woman on the court.
Right.
It should have been, for all
Years
of this
ago,
time.
Right.
It should have also been that representation on the court. And all we're doing, all Joe Biden is doing is correcting that. I don't see anything wrong with what is going on right now. As long as the nominees being considered are qualified, that's all that matters. And so there it is.
And these women, like I said, they're more qualified than at least 3 people. And the 3 I'm looking at are Kavanaugh, Barrett, and Thomas. They're more qualified than those.
And you can throw Gorsuch in there too.
Yeah, I mean, it's Gorsuch is slightly more qualified than the other 3, but I mean, certainly the last 2 that were put on, and Clarence Thomas, who should recuse himself, and actually he should go away now, for various reasons. Even Ted Cruz, number 8, he goes back on. This is hilarious. This is my favorite quote of Cruz.
It would obviously be wrong if a president said they were going to nominate a white woman or a white man. You and I would both agree that's wrong. But in this instance, the Democrats are so casually racist that they'll make that promise. And not only that, it ends up being insulting to African-American women.
Okay,
oh, my God.
Okay, so Ronald Reagan, as you quoted, said he was going to nominate a woman. So did Donald Trump. And you don't have to say you're going to nominate a white man because it's just expected. That's expected. That's not even, you don't have to qualify it. I'm going to nominate a Supreme Court justice. We are all assuming at that point it's a white guy.
Yes. And can we also agree that words have definitions? Words like racism, you can't just casually go around and say, black people are being racist against white people, or I guess in this case, Joe Biden is being racist against white people. I don't know. I guess that's what he's saying. But racism comes from a place of power.
Exactly.
There is bigotry, and then there is racism. And racism is a form of the power oppressing the minority, the majority oppressing the minority. And we've just thrown out all definitions.
Well, yeah, I mean,
definitions are irrelevant in 2022 America.
Well, I mean, there's a Texas parent that demands their school district ban Michelle Obama's book over, quote, reverse racism. That is not a thing. It's not a thing. It's from Katy, which is a Houston suburb. It's Michelle Obama's children's biography of her, and it's reverse racism against white people. I can't. I don't even. It just brain fart in my head.
Maybe they feel like she took a job that a white lady should have gotten, like the first lady.
Like John McCain's wife should have gotten. Okay.
Just saying.
There is no post, no job, no entity in this country where white people are suddenly verboten. That just doesn't happen anymore. There is no systemic racism of any sort in this country against white people. And I think, you know what, we've kind of given up fighting back against that ridiculousness. I think we need to start fighting back against that ridiculousness again and reclaim the correct definition for words. My God, how
words. Wordle should be teaching people. I'm
exactly.
I'm
Why
getting,
can't we incorporate that
yeah,
into the
come on,
game?
kids. Wordle.
Just don't share your scores.
Yeah,
everywhere.
just don't share.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me know if you do the Sunday New York Times in pen,
Yes,
and we'll talk.
That is something to
go.
celebrate.
And we'll talk.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting this from Mr. Lavoie. And then
mean
he's
we're
going to
out
be
of time?
doing this in a minute, or
Okay.
this.
Yes.
He's
All
doing
right.
all these
We
things.
gotta wrap it up.
He's
All
giving
right.
me. I'm going to steal third in a minute.
But make sure you subscribe to the Bob Cesca Show.
Yes, get Bob
Yes.
Cesca.
BobCescaShow.com.
Yes.
You get another hour of this tomorrow with Jody.
Well, actually, no, I can't do it tomorrow. I'm taking Lonnie to the airport.
Okay.